Something I do a lot, I'm trying not to, is I pretend I'm on the phone sometimes, so I have to pretend that I'm typing on my phone, like I'm doing a text or something. Because sometimes, like I think I tried to explain this before, but I don't know if I did it right, but or made it make sense anyway. But sometimes when you're walking around, you'll get kind of stuck in someone's orbit, and this is pretending for a minute that gravity is a real thing. Sometimes when you're around people, they'll be walking along, and they'll kind of be walking the same way you are, in the same direction, whatever. But they're just kind of too close to you. I mean, for me, so I'll try to kind of, get away from them a little bit, usually by stopping, but then, like, they'll stop too. And it's not like they're trying to stay in my orbit, but for some reason they are. And a lot of times, like, it just happened back then. It's like, oh, hi, how you doing? Good. And, the person's real close to me, so I'm like, all right. And then I kind of let them try to get ahead, but they don't. It's not that they're waiting for me, but it feels like they are, but they're not. It's just a weird thing. It's like you get stuck in someone else's orbit, or they get stuck in yours. And sometimes I have to do, like, extreme things just to break out of that. And one of them is to pretend I'm getting a phone call. And what it does is that gets rid of the awkwardness of, okay, this person is just going to be right in my fucking personal space for forever, I guess, unless I do something. I don't know what it is. I doubt they're trying to do that, but it happens a lot out here. It could be just like a schizo sort of thing that only is going on in my head, which is, I would say, more than likely what it is. Yeah, what am I doing today? Really, haven't been out for a couple of days because of the rain. Just doing my regular, is it Saturday or Sunday? What's fuck days today? Probably stay on top of this. Saturday. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of interesting things happening around here. I did go to see my friend the other day. I talked about that, how we have to get together and do some kind of video soon. I talked to him yesterday about doing something possibly today, but I didn't hear anything from him, so whatever. I don't have as much of a need to, I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go over it with them. And when I went to his place the other day at the hotel, he was just in a weird situation. I guess he had some problems with his girlfriend. His girlfriend stole his keys and just took off the keys to his car. So I don't know. He's always with some kind of girl that, I don't know. They always end up to be a little bit of a handful for him. I think he's drawn to those kind of types, Some people are. I used to be that way too. You get to certain archetypes you get drawn to subconsciously. And subconscious is a hell of a thing. It'll run, well, it does. Your subconscious really runs your life. It'll override a lot of stuff that you think in your front brain too. Like you'll be thinking, oh, I'd like to do this or go to this place. Maybe just something simple like for lunch. So I'm going to go here to eat. Your subconscious is like, no, you went there once, or you got something from there. It's, it'll talk you out of it. It'll send you somewhere else. It does that with everything. And that's why a lot of time and energy is spent by the farmers trying to figure out new ways in how to program that or how to control that. A lot of the, not all of it, but I'd say a good percentage of it, of the sort of programming and mind control of things they're using to control your behavior, your thoughts, or the way you perceive things, is primarily aimed at your subconscious, because it can be put in there without you noticing, and then when you get a message or an idea from there, you think it's yours, because you're like, oh, I like this place more because they have that. It's like, well, do you know? Was that your idea? No, it was put in there. It was put in your subconscious. I recognize that in myself, like looking back at the stuff I used to do, or some of activities I take part in, or just even simple things, like even like what to choose to drink or something. A lot of it is dictated by what's stuck up there in the subconscious, man. You can't deprogram it. Like I've gone through this before. I was kind of caught up in the subconscious thing for a while. I thought I had some kind of answer there, but no, I didn't. Like everything else after a series of videos on a subject, I realized that I have no, there's no answer here. But the idea was that you can't get the programming that's already been done to you. You can't remove that from your subconscious. So the thing to do, I think, would be to add new programming yourself. Like try to reprogram it yourself. But you know, easier said than done. But I've been finding as I go on a lot of, and this goes for a lot of the metaphysical stuff too, whether you call it magic or whatever, to really get to know what you're up against or to work somehow against things, you have to kind of learn their methods. You know, you don't have to use their methods, but you really got to figure out exactly how it's being done. And that psychologically as well, of course, because that's a big part of it. You got to Jock Empire that stuff sometimes. You know, if you're a Star Wars guy, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, you got to, not maybe to that extreme, where you go work for the bad guys to understand how the bad guys work. You don't need to do that, but you got to do it a little bit. You know, that's why, like, sometimes I get into the things I get into or talk about that would normally be what I would consider magic stuff that I wouldn't mess with, and I still don't mess with. I don't do anything like that, but I'd learn about it where a lot of Christians probably wouldn't, you know, because they're like, just stay away, it's evil. It's like, yeah, I know, but if I can figure out what they're doing with it, that's a plus, you know. And I've had success in that area, at least for myself, you know, because you're not answering these questions for anyone but yourself. Because even if you have decent findings or you have something that is of value to other people, it's really it has to be people that are open to receiving that information. A lot of people aren't. The best way to get someone to understand things like that is to have them go through it themselves. I don't know. It seems to be that like that's how it sticks with people, and with me too. Like having someone try to explain something to you, like no, you gotta. This is the way this is done. This is why you feel that way, and there's something inside me that just kind of shuts down immediately. Like okay. But then if I come across the same information on my own, and now we have something. Now I'm like, oh, this is what they were talking about. So there's a little bit of that too. And then, like, the whole thing is, does it matter if you learn the methods? Because they're still being used on you no matter what. I think it does in some cases, because, I mean, the obvious, if you know how it's being done, you can mitigate it in some way, in some fashion. The thing is, there's so many things being done at one time. And then what you're doing is you're putting energy toward undoing things. It's just like I just mentioned the subconscious, how instead of trying to deprogram your subconscious to try to write new stuff over it would help. In the same way, it's kind of like the same thing. It's like, yeah, you don't want to spend too much energy trying to figure out how they're screwing you. Just put that energy into protecting yourself from being screwed, you know? See if I can get through here. Music is a problem. I gotta get rid of it. Something that I've talked about quite a bit. I just don't, I don't know what to do about it. Because been there the whole time. It's kind of part of my identity, it's part of, or it was, anyway, of what I did. I was a musician for many years, a singer, whatever you call it. Yeah. So it's like a lot of time was spent doing that. And music was very important to me. It wasn't, It wasn't like it is for, you know, your average person that isn't like crazy about it. For them, it's just something that exists. Like, you know, I used to use this analogy. Like, if you're in the paper towel business, man, and you make brawny, you know, it's the best paper towel in the world, right? You know, it's the most absorbent, whatever the hell. You go to your friend's house and they're using something else. And you're like, wow, how come you don't use this? It works so much better. And they rattle off all the important things about it. And they're like, hey, no, man, it's just a paper towel. It doesn't matter. Just some people, that's how music is. It's just a paper towel. It's just something they put on in the car when they're driving and cleaning the house or whatever. And I do that too. But I also engage with it on a much deeper level. And it's all fucking bad. It's all bad. You know, movie and TV shows and shit, I had no problem dropping. I didn't even think about having to drop them. I just kind of naturally dropped them over the years. I just, you know, got out. Wasn't interested anymore. And even when I do tune into something or watch something, all I see is symbolism the whole time. You know, because I can see it. It just shows itself to me. Many others, you know what I'm talking about, have the same problem. It's to a point, it's just comical. It's comical. It's not worth doing. You know, even though I don't think it's hurting me, because it's the once you know the old once you know the trick thing. It's still just annoying to watch. You know, it's like, what the fuck? You know what's annoying too? Trying to get this pack of cigarettes open for, I don't know, 5 minutes I've been doing this as I'm talking. Like, blah, 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 trying to take this thing open. Let me see. Yeah, this is becoming a project. I'm not even gonna bother anymore. I'm not good with one hand apparently. Yeah, so I'm gonna go into Ross here, but I'm gonna go more into music and get some, hopefully try to get some feedback from some of you guys, because I'm kind of losing my shit about it. I have to let it go. I have to let it go. I have to get away from it. This is harder for me though than movies and TV or anything else. But I know it's bad. I can say, oh, it doesn't hurt me all day, but why take the chance? I don't know. I've used so many coping things too, like, you know, it's just like, you know, getting yourself sick. It's good for your immune system. I like to test my spiritual immune system. That's horseshit. Just dump it. It's not that important, you know? The thing is, I gotta find something else to replace that with. Because it is very much like an addiction. I don't know. And I know there's non-pause music, like there's stuff I can listen to that's not going to cut my soul instantly or whatever, but I don't know. I gotta work on that. And I'm gonna work on that the second I get out of Ross. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.